time for part 2 of our best climbing champions for lower and mid elo. Ready? Then let's jump right into it. Our first champion on this list is Miss Fortune. She's an easy to play and pick up champion that has insane lane control in a solo queue environment. Her biggest strength is the ability to poke the enemy with her first ability. Its range is so absurd that the people can't even see the projectile coming from outside of their screens into their faces. It's just too far away and outside of their point of view, so good luck. Combining that with her insane control in teamfight situations, she's a very scary champion to deal with. Just placing down your third ability in combination with your ultimate ability will grant you immense zone control. If the enemy team doesn't respect that possibility, it's not a rarity to see them wiped from the face of the Rift almost immediately. To make sure you're also scaling in a decent manner, I recommend rushing Mana Mune, as this item provides you with everything you can dream of, apart from crit of course. Once it's stacked, you're going to deal so much damage. Just give it a shot and you'll not be disappointed. The only thing you'll be very cautious about, or have to be cautious about, is that your damage at times seems higher than it actually is. And all that happens because of your passive. You're going to see a massive first hit, but then deal a little bit less damage after. That's because of how your passive ability works. Every time you attack a new target, you're going to deal bonus damage to the target, but then it goes on cooldown until you attack a new target again. To bypass this, you can abuse Miss Fortune's first ability as it applies your passive, and that way you're at least able to get 2 swift procs for extra damage. And now it's time for our question of the day. What do you think Riot should change about the jungle role to make it less overbearing to deal with at times? At least when it comes to spam ganking. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Next up comes Galio, another super easy to pilot champion that excels both at wave clear and being a chunky character that doesn't die too easily. During your early game, especially in the super early laning phase, you can absolutely demolish the wave with your passive and first ability. That way you can gain yourself an easy advantage early on. In lower and mid elo, players disrespect positioning and minions a lot of times, so this is definitely something you need to take advantage of with this pick. Another nice feature of Galio is his ability to join fights that happen on the other side of the map. With your ability, you can just quickly join the fight and turn it into your team's favor. For your starting item, you want to rush Rod of Ages as fast as possible to get it scaling. That item provides you with everything you need: HP, mana, lots of ability power, and yeah, that's it. Let's quickly talk about your job as a Galio. In lane, you want to clear the wave and poke as good as you can. Once the enemy is slightly low enough, you can aim for an all-in. For teamfights, you want to locate the enemy carries or threats to your carries. Having that done, you want to CC them as long as possible, locking them in place so your teammates can just quickly take care of them. See? It's super easy. The following champion might be hated by a lot of players, but is quite insane when it comes to climbing as a support. I'm talking about Lux, and she's quite the monster if you go full AP on her. But let's talk about the main issue with support in lower to mid elo, and nobody will like to hear this. Your AD carry in that elo will most likely not have the capacity of carrying games. It's not a problem overall, but it's a problem for you in the game. Imagine you're playing a committal support champion such as Alistar and you go in. Then you're in. And if nobody follows, you're just going to die. So even if you find the most perfect engage, you'll still end up getting punished for it a lot of times due to the level of skill. Exactly for that reason I recommend Lux. In Season 2 I spammed Janna and Lux in order to win most of my games. Roaming the map and investing into AP really helped a great deal, and in Lux's case it's even more insane. Once you get the Luden's Echo into your inventory, it's game time. Constantly fish for hits with your first ability, and if you happen to catch an enemy, you're going to blast him into the next game with your full combo. Don't judge before you play it. Last but not least, we have a special character on this list. Singed. Yep, you heard it right. Singed. This champion loves to do one certain thing: running around. And now name me one thing that all your teammates and enemies are constantly doing. Yes, it's running around and chasing people until the end of time. Now it's time for you to abuse that to your advantage. Abuse people's weak laning phases in the lower to mid elo and scale freely towards your first item, Raleig's Crystal Scepter. Combining this item with your ultimate will grant you insane power that is only overshadowed once you completely unleash Torment. That way you're going to impact an entire fight with utility and damage at the same time. You'll cause chaos and you're going to enjoy it. But there's something you need to understand when you play this champion. You are not a Fiora tier bully in terms of damage. You're also not going to one-shot anyone, but, and that's a very big but, you're going to annoy every single player until they tilt into oblivion. Just running through them and tossing a carry towards your team is more than good enough. Enjoyed the video? Leave a like, subscribe and come back for more.